I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it.
Biggie. Uh-huh.
What's going on, people? Back with another video. This video is gonna answer a question I received in a comment on one of my other videos. It had to do with age discrimination. So I had a subscriber ask me about what I felt about age discrimination. So here's what I gotta say about it. You know, I don't see or feel a lot of age discrimination in software development, at least not in the areas that I have personally worked in. So in a place like Vegas, Denver, where I worked at, you know, even the place I'm at now out of Virginia, none of those places had age discrimination issues or problems or anything like that. As a matter of fact, it was actually the opposite. In the company I worked in Denver, the majority of the developers were at least upper 20s, if not over 30. So we didn't have any, you know, fresh out of college, 23-year-old developers, 22, 21, none of that stuff was going on. So all of us were older. I mean, I'm 36, and there were two developers that were older than me. We were on a team of about 6 or 7, was my personal little team, and 2 of them were older than me. I was the third oldest. There was another guy that was like 33. Another guy was 28, something like that. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have any issues there. Obviously, we interviewed people from all ages. You know, there was some young cats that came in, and some older people that came in as well. And really, from a management standpoint, all management cares is finding somebody that can do the work. Can you do the job? Can you write good quality code? They don't care if you're 15 or if you're 55. It doesn't matter. You need to be able to do the work. So I'll say it's not really something to worry about. I think when people think of coders and programming, you know, maybe they're thinking of places like Silicon Valley, in San Francisco, you know, to work somewhere like there. But you have to remember that they have colleges in the area that are tuned to spit out computer science majors. So if you have a college in the area that's spitting out computer science majors, then yeah, your average age of developers in that area may be lower because you have a lot of college grads coming out. Vegas, UNLV, they're not known for spitting out a bunch of computer science majors. You know, it's a hospitality first college or university or whatever it is. I think in Denver, I don't think they have a college that's really like world renowned or known for spitting out computer science graduates. So when you find places like that, you get a lot of people that, I don't know, I feel like the age of the average developer is higher in places like that. So I don't think you really have to worry about it. You need to know your stuff though, you know. Everyone has biases. Everyone. In my diversity video, you saw me say, well, no, I didn't say that. That was on another. I shot a video a long time ago for another channel that I have where I told the story of walking out of my office there in Denver when I was there working on site. It was the end of the day, like 6 p.m. or something like that. I walk out of the office. It's cold there, so I got on a poofy jacket, you know, with my backpack on, with my laptop and all that stuff in it. And I go out. When I exit the doors, I turn to the left to go to the parking garage to go get in the elevator. There was a lady, a white lady, ahead of me. She had already walked past the door, and I came in behind her, and she went and got in the elevator. And I stepped on the elevator behind her, and as she turned around in the elevator, you could see, you know, almost, she turned around, had this look of shock or fear almost, you know, when she saw me. And then she immediately started looking down and fidgeting with her purse, and then she jumped off the elevator right before the doors closed, and she murmured like, I left something in my office, you know. It was one of those things where she was trying to play it off, you know, that you know, she didn't feel comfortable being in the elevator with me. You know, I kind of just had to shake my head at it, and it's like, it happens. I'm a 6'2", 240-pound black guy in a city of Denver where the population is almost 70% white. I think there's not a lot of diversity in Denver at all, and this is from me spending about 7 months of last year living in that city. I get it. If your only portrayal of African American males is what you see on the news and TV, which they're almost always portrayed in a negative light, you know, some type of drama, or if it's the news, it's always some, you know, black suspect or something like that, you know, robberies and, you know, all kind of, you know, the stereotypical image of a black male, then I can almost put myself in their shoes and almost empathize with her that, you know, she felt fear. I don't know if she had ever, I don't want to say ever, but I don't think a normal setting for her is to be around a black male. So I get it. So that's her bias. There are biases in age as well. When you see a 50-plus-year-old programmer come in and sit down, you automatically feel that he's probably very experienced, you know? At least that's usually what I think. Oh, he's very experienced. And then throughout the process, you get to find out if they are experienced and know their stuff, or if they're, you know, new to the field, which is still fine if they're new to the field, if they know their stuff, if they can produce for the team, if they can be an asset to the team and not a liability. Doesn't matter. I guess I'm trying to think of what kind of negative ageism stereotypes there could be. Maybe one thing I've heard of is that if you're an older person coming in for an interview, people think that, oh, you've been programming forever and maybe you were stuck in some old antiquated technology. Like, you meet a lot of old programmers, you know, it's been programming since back in the 90s stuff, but they never caught on to the new wave of programming. You know, especially if we're talking about web development. Man, web development technologies change so fast. You know, there's always a new framework or a new whatever it is. And, you know, I've met some programmers. Actually, there's some programmers going to be in this meetup here. I saw someone just walk in that are older developers that have been programming in older, I don't want to say older technologies, but they've been doing the same thing for a very long time. And they haven't kept up with the new stuff that's going on because they got comfortable. They got very secure in their job and where they were at. They didn't have to keep learning because they made themselves valuable. If they were the ones that wrote the code and architected the system of a company, and then as a lot of the other developers that wrote that code leave and move on, the people that stay there become more and more valuable because they know that code. They wrote it. You get some places, when I worked at Allegiant, the legacy system, people were scared to touch it, you know? But there would be the one guy that knew that system back and forth and could go in and fix stuff because he had been there for so long. But that guy is also not learning the new latest and greatest stuff. He's very secure in his kind of job, but he's not learning the new stuff, so he's getting left behind. So that may be a negative stereotype about ageism, is either you're new, changing, or you're coming over and you've been doing the same thing for so long, you might be stuck. Yeah, but that's it. Long story short, I really don't think you have to worry about it. Just jump in there, man. Like I said, I was in my mid-30s before I learned to code and started doing it for a career. So don't wait. Start learning today and do it. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.